Fast-forward medical innovation helps biomedical researchers accelerate innovation from idea to impact through commercialization education, business development support, funding, and mentorship expertise. So, you've made a discovery that may lead to a therapeutic innovation. What steps are now needed to communicate it? To develop your idea, you'll want to begin by creating a commercialization plan. This will include gathering information on the clinical impact and potential development path for your innovation. A commercial development plan includes these milestones: conducting a commercial assessment, creating a target product profile, preparing for an IND application in clinical trials, and planning your exit strategy. Let's start with the commercial assessment to see what potential challenges lie ahead. Remember that what drives science does not necessarily drive business. It's important to fully understand if the unmet clinical need you're trying to address really is a problem. This means considering the epidemiology and consequences of the disease. Examine the value of your idea over competitive solutions, including the current standard of care. Talking with stakeholders is a great way to get more information on the clinical problem and the value of your proposed solution. Your stakeholders might be physicians, insurance providers, potential licensees, etc. Now that you have a better understanding of the clinical utility and feel that your idea will add value, let's talk about intellectual property. Patent protection is required for the successful commercialization of a therapeutic. While this can be in the form of a method of use patent, protection for a novel composition of matter and its method of use is preferred. If you are part of an academic institution, file an invention disclosure with your tech transfer office to begin the process of protecting your idea. It is important to involve tech transfer early and often to coordinate the best IP protection strategy. Next, you'll develop a target product profile, or TPP. The TPP is an outline of the key features of your therapeutic, primarily used as a guide for development and FDA discussions. For the most efficient plan, it is important to begin with the end in mind. The TPP outlines indications and usage, dosage and administration, contraindications, adverse reactions, clinical pharmacology, non-clinical toxicology, and clinical studies. First, indications and usage. Describe the disease or condition your product will treat. Be specific. Is it a treatment or prevention? Is it a first or second-line treatment? What is the specific patient population you'll target? There may be multiple potential indications for your therapy, so it will be important to identify the best first indication. This may be based on the size of the clinical problem or the potential development path. Now that you've identified the indication, consider the dosage and route of administration. Include the dosing interval and duration of treatment. It will be important to confirm that this will be well tolerated by your patient population. Next, let's discuss when the therapy should never be used. These are called contraindications. In the early stage of a project, it may be difficult to determine what contraindications may be, so you can begin by comparing to other drugs in that class. This may include specific patient populations or combinations with other treatments. Now consider the adverse reactions. Like contraindications, this may be difficult to determine during the preclinical stage. You can hypothesize by identifying what has been observed for the drug class or for other therapies with the same target. Keep in mind that some adverse reactions may be tolerated depending on the disease you're addressing. For clinical pharmacology, you will identify the optimum pharmacokinetics and pharmacodynamics of your therapeutic. Pharmacokinetic factors include how fast the therapy will reach the target organ and how long it will persist in the body. Pharmacodynamics refers to the effect and mechanism of action on the body. In this section, you will also address how the therapeutic is distributed throughout the body, including its absorption, distribution, metabolism, and excretion. Next is non-clinical toxicology. Here, you will consider the safety profile based on your preclinical studies. From this information, you will predict possible toxicity and plan for how it will be monitored clinically. You will also suggest a safe starting dose for humans. Last is clinical studies. Here you will identify what clinical evidence you will need to prove that your idea is safe and effective and will add clinical value. You can look at previous therapeutics for precedence. Be sure that your endpoints will support your product's competitive position and market strategy, as this will be important for securing funding. Remember, the TPP is a living document and will be modified as you learn more during the development process. Now that you've completed your TPP, it can be used to guide your conversations with the FDA around securing investigational new drug, or IND approval. This is the green light to begin clinical trials. With proper guidance from a regulatory expert, consider a pre-IND consultation to confirm your research plan is on track. Once studies are complete and data is compiled, an IND application is submitted. This application will include efficacy, safety, and pharmaceutical quality data, including animal pharmacology and toxicology studies, chemistry, manufacturing information, and clinical protocols. Now that you have assessed the critical development components, what is the path to market? The two main exit strategies for academic technologies are licensing to an existing company or forming a startup. The decisions made throughout your commercialization development plan, as well as industry trends, will determine the best exit strategy for your therapeutic. In this high-level overview, we've covered the typical therapeutic development path and considerations for along the way. If you're interested in learning more, check out Fast Forward Medical Innovation online.